The Golden One Center in Sacramento will play host to the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view on my birthday in October. Can't wait. And they tweeted out a spoiler for the show this week. They were advertising The Fiend. Bray Wyatt will be challenging either Seth Rollins or Braun Strowman, whoever the champion is, for the Universal title inside Hell in a Cell on that show. Now, originally, the advertised match for this pay-per-view was going to be Seth Rollins against Drew McIntyre, although I don't know if that match was ever advertised for the championship. But that, at one time, was one of the advertised matches for this show. These things do change. Apparently, this is not going to change, though. This is really the plan for that pay-per-view. The Fiend will headline his first ever pay-per-view and challenge for the championship. And I know some people think it's way too soon, or that, the Fiend doesn't need the title. He's an Undertaker-type character who's above it. He doesn't need to be the champion. He shouldn't want the championship. Why would he want the championship? It's like he's beyond it somehow. Everyone on that roster should want to be the champion. Everyone. For him, could be his way of sticking it to the people who wronged him, or said that he would never amount to anything. It's like the Huskus puppet from the Firefly Funhouse, right? People calling him, what would they call him? What did he call himself during the Funhouse segments? That, I don't know if it was Vince McMahon or somebody called him like a fat slob at one time. It could be have something to do with that. This is his way of showing those people, that he's capable of doing more than they ever envisioned that he could possibly accomplish. You could always come up with a rationale, regardless of the type of character, for them to be the champion. Everybody should want to be the champion. Being the champion should be everything. As for whether it's too soon, I don't think it is. But here's the thing. You are then, if he does win it, let's say he has the match, let's say they put the championship on him. Okay, you are now back to a situation where you have an absentee champion. If the idea is that the Fiend doesn't appear every week, which you don't want him to, because you want to keep him special. My guess is he'd still probably show up more often than Brock Lesnar did when he was the champion. Yeah, but the fact is, the Fiend is the hot act right now, and if they want to go with their hot hand, as long as they don't overexpose him, then I'm fine with that. But he has to win. He cannot be beaten. It is too early to be beaten. And they can't pull the same nonsense that they did last year in the Cell with Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, where they had a Hell in a Cell match last year for the championship that went to a no contest. Yes, a no contest inside Hell in a Cell. The referee called the match off. I don't know how many people remember that. In the realm of bullshit finishes, that one is way up there. Way up there on the list. You cannot do the same thing again this year. He's got to win. So I'm all for the Fiend as champion if he wins. Then he can keep the title safe inside the Funhouse for a while. Ramblin' Rabbit can keep the tomato title nice and warm. And when Finn Balor comes back, which might happen as early as later that same month in October, the Demon. They could build to the Demon challenging for the championship, let's say at Survivor Series, and then he too can be beaten. I'd go all the way to WrestleMania with him as champion, and maybe there he finally gets beaten for the first time. I like the idea, I've said this before, of building to the Fiend and Aleister Black. Problem is, Aleister Black is on the wrong show. But hey, wild card rule, right? Say when nothing matters, all you got to do is shout wild card. And it's all good. We should all do that in our lives. Any situation. Doesn't have to be wrestling related. If you're in the middle of a conversation with somebody, if you're sitting in class and the teacher says something that doesn't make sense, if you're at work and a colleague says something dumb that really doesn't make sense, all you got to do is shout wild card. And all of a sudden, everything makes sense. Nothing matters. I love these people who tweeted me, because I see this news about there's rumors of a possible draft heading into, when SmackDown launches on Fox, and I laugh. I made a comment about, wild card, it doesn't matter. And I got tweets from people, oh, well, you know, they're gonna have a draft. It's because of Fox. And I just laugh. Because people keep falling for it. They keep falling for the same shit all the time. Oh, this time it's going to be different. It's going to be different this time. It's going to be a real draft. Really? What evidence of this can you point to that they are going to finally be serious about keeping the roster separate and not doing the mixing that we've seen them doing now for months and months and months on end? What can you point to prove to me that they're actually going to be serious about that this time? I'm supposed to take that seriously? I'm supposed to care that they're going to do a draft? Oh, this time it's going to be different. Really? Huh. Interesting. Fascinating. Tell me more. So I'm sure I'll get in on all the fun with everybody else if in fact they do have a draft as we get closer to October, and I'll get in on the fun and I'll have my own thoughts on who I think should go here and who I think should go there. But anybody who doesn't think that they're just going to blow this up and break their own rules within a couple of months, you haven't really been paying attention for very long. These people don't know how to execute a draft. They don't know how to do it. They don't care enough to do it. Nothing is going to change.